Hello everybody, and welcome to Ascent number 16. It's hard to believe that we're 2.5 ascents from the end, and that after 2 more ascents we would have climbed the height of Everest. It's quite a sobering thought. And today I want to talk briefly about 2 more Davis concepts, the concepts of sequence and then the double concept of order versus disorder, that in many Davis programs are also mastered in clay and are explored in the environment. Now, sequence is a kind of a key concept that as human beings in a physical universe we experience all of the time. We essentially live in a sequence in time. So the 16 ascents that we've done so far, they have been a sequence being the way things follow on one after another. So we've been doing one ascent, then the next ascent, then the next ascent, and so on. And something that happens behind the scenes after we get back after an ascent is that we collect together all the fragments of video that Tanya has been filming of me walking up the roads, then up the hills, and so on. And I put them together in the sequence that they actually occurred. So although you may not know the Malvern Hills, it matters to me that you see the fragments of the ascent in the right sequence. And then I have the feeling that I've shown you a true representation of the ascent that we've done. And here's another little example of sequence. So just now you saw me pick a dandelion. That dandelion hasn't always looked like that. It would have been a little shoot at one point, and it becomes a yellow flower. Now it's got all of these seeds on it, and if we make a little consequence happen now, so cause something to happen, so here we have a new effect as a result of me blowing on it. I've just scattered a load of dandelion seeds into the environment, probably propagating the dandelion population here. And now it's in another place in its sequence and time. And sequence is important in that whenever we want to pursue a goal or achieve something, we have to take a series of steps in order to get there. I can't go from home straight to the top of the hill. I have to go step by step up the hills. One of the things we often see in the people that we work with who have issues with attention focus or so-called ADHD is what we might call castles in the air syndrome. So you may have come across individuals who can, with huge enthusiasm, convey their pictures to you about an amazing idea, an amazing innovation, or something that would transform the world. And just listening to the person talking about that is already kind of exciting and inspiring. But very often these pictures never become reality because the sequence of steps in the physical world that would be needed in order to make that thing a reality don't occur. And that's a kind of a hallmark of a person who perhaps hasn't fully assimilated, integrated the concept of sequence into their lives. So by playing out the concept of sequence, going and exploring, looking for it in the environment, helping a person in an accelerated and rich way integrate that concept into their way of thinking, we can do a great deal for our person. And of course also sequence is a key concept in any form of mathematics, because when you're resolving an equation you also have to go step by step. So just to finish today, I thought we'd have a quick look inside my rucksack and see what we've got here. Here are a couple of apples, and the apples are quite fresh. They were bought just a couple of days ago. They're in good condition, they've been washed, and you see we've got them in a bag here in order to keep them clean, so that when we eat them they're in a clean state. And here we have a couple of flasks of water. The water again is fresh, and we've got one for Tanya and one for me. And what we're kind of looking at here is the Davis concept of order as opposed to disorder. The Davis sort of definition or principle of order is things in their proper places, proper positions and proper conditions. So as I put this bottle back in my rucksack, I'm not going to put it this way around. It's reasonably stable, but it might, yeah, here we go, it's starting to leak if I do that. So I'm going to put it in this position. Same with Tanya's flask. And the rucksack is the proper place for it, because in that place that will then be closed and we'll be carrying it up the hills, and it will mean we'll always have it with us. Okay? So after mastering sequence in the Davis program, we also master the concepts of order versus disorder. And the person makes a simple model out of plasticine showing things in their proper places, proper positions, proper conditions, and then another model where things are not in their proper places and or positions and or conditions. And then that sets up a contrast, and then after that it's possible to go out into the environment and look where there is order and where there is not order. Later in certain of the Davis programs, in the autism program and in the attention mastery program, we take a person through a sequence of steps that shows a person how to establish order in their environment, and then that can often have a transformational effect on a person's ability to organise and order things. So now onwards and upwards.